Glad to be here with you guys today. It's Wednesday and school got out last week. And so we're in a new groove for a couple of months here for the summer and the kiddos. And thankfully, here in Dallas, it is actually sunny today. There's been lots of trepidation here at the house because last Wednesday there was supposed to be a pool party for the kiddos. But it has been raining for like weeks, and so it was canceled. And so we've been praying over it today to be sure that there was sun today. So my daughter will be extra excited if this pool party can actually happen. Hey, this week, we're talking more about I think it's the fourth step in the success framework for introverts when it comes to being an introvert in the direct selling industry and moving the needle forward on your business in a way to create leads, an endless supply of leads that search you out, that ask you if they can have a party with you, that ask you if they can try your products, that ask you to be a part of your team. And today we're going to be talking about consistency. So in our time, we've covered several things. We've covered knowing yourself. We've covered knowing your exact client. We've covered branding. And in all of this, the whole idea of it is that we are getting out and about. This just happens to be in a way that is a little bit more favorable for introverts. Getting out and about and building the know, like, and trust factor, letting people know us, getting to know other people, and connecting with those people that we really like, and building that relationship so that it includes trust. And today's topic of consistency is all about that trust factor. If you think about any relationship, part of it, the time that it takes to build the relationship, right? Part of it is that trust factor. We want to know, there's several layers of trust that you get to go through when building a relationship. And in showing up consistently, it's almost like when you're setting up a date and you say, okay, great, I'll see you this time at this time, and we'll do this. And the more frequently, at least this is what works for me, the more frequently those things align, that when somebody says that they're going to do this and then actually does it, what does that do? That builds trust. Now, I'll get into that in a minute. But the importance of showing up consistently in the way that you say that you're going to helps people to get to know you better anyways. After a little bit, they're going to be looking for you. They know of you, they like you, they're getting to know you, and that trust factor is being built. Just like in party plans, maybe that you've not been used to this type of networking, so to speak. There are things that we've been taught to do in that type of a situation to get to know people, to build rapport is how I learned it growing in the direct selling industry, to build trust so that people will actually show up to the parties, that they actually feel comfortable around you, that they know you're human and you're not going to be pushy or aggressive, that they're going to be coming just for a great time. And that continues to build the trust. In my situation, I grew up in a company that suggested that we see the person in person several times to continue to build that trust. So it's not like a one and done. I'm never going to see you again. You're running off with my product, and who knows if I'm going to hear from you again. We want to set it up from the beginning to be a long-term relationship. And so some of the things that we were taught as we're growing in this business, in this industry, all had to do with consistency, trust, and that solidifies the relationship that they would go to nobody else but you because they know you, they like you, and they trust you, right? So it's the same thing that we're doing. It's just we're taking the live interaction out. If you want to use this plus live interaction, you can. But if you don't, you can still have a growing, profitable business. So let's get started. Okay, so I wrote some notes down about showing up consistently because this is going to look different for everybody. Number one, I don't want you to get so wrapped up in the What is the exact definition of consistency? Now, for me, I like to have a plan. I like to know what to do when. It just allows me to enjoy the process more. But what I like to do and what's available to me in my personal situation and my priorities and all the things that I find important is going to be different for you. Okay, so the first thing that I want to mention as far as showing up consistently is this is all about what consistency is for you. Okay, if you want to say, okay, I'm going to show up virtually once a week, like I pop into our group here once a week live and do this little teaching section for 15, 20, 30 minutes. And you know to expect it. I'm here every week, unless something crazy happens. I show up in my social media at this point. This is just me. I show up daily. Okay, if that doesn't work for you or that doesn't kind of jive with where you are, I don't want you to get caught up in the mess, the analytics of, well, I can't do that, so I'm not doing anything. I want you to find a way to show up in a way that feels good to your spirit, in a way that you feel like you are contributing to this relationship. But it's going to be different. It's going to be different for everybody. Okay. So there's that. The focus is the victory, how it feels for you when the vibes are perfect for you. Okay, so part of the whole process is deciding who it is that you're going to serve. And in part of deciding who it is you're going to serve, that perfect customer shows up in different locations. Would you not agree? The people that use TikTok in general are different than the people that use Facebook in general, who are different than the people that use Pinterest in general, than the people that use YouTube. Okay, so there's lots of different businesses, locations that people go depending on a lot that has to do with them. I have a bigger presence in Facebook, but my presence in Instagram is growing, but how I talk on the two are different. So what I'm doing right now anyways, is showing up more on Instagram, and I'm linking that to my Facebook. In this part of life, that's what I'm doing for me. What it looks like for you is going to be completely different. Okay, there's even building your direct selling business on LinkedIn. Any place where people gather, there's going to be an opportunity for you to grow relationships there for your business. Okay. So the first one was make it feel good for you. Number 2, decide based on your perfect customer where you're going to meet up. And if you realize that the type of person that you want for a customer is someplace that you're not spending time with, I want you to take a deep breath and know that learning a new location to go into is not as scary as it may feel. That it's only scary because you don't know. But once you take the time to know and think about it, the opportunity for you to thrive in a new space is not hindered by the fact that you haven't been there yet. Okay. A couple months ago, I didn't know very much about Instagram, and I've really thrown myself into it. And although I don't use it like some people use it, I really have decided to enjoy the process, and I've been having a great time with that. So that's the next thing that may hinder consistency, that feeling. And then the final thing is that you don't have to be everywhere at once. Can you imagine walking into a room and you want to be over that corner, and you want to be over by the food, and you want to be over by the speaker, and you want to be over sitting there, because like me, because I'm cold and I just want to like blanket on. You can't be everywhere at once. All right. So just get comfortable in a space, even if you feel it's a new space because your perfect customer is hanging out there. Please don't feel like you have to be everywhere at once. That can actually water down, your message. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to talk about when it comes to showing up consistency has to do with a plan of action going into this relationship. Okay. And I believe it was last week on my Instagram Live, I was talking about the different people that you get to be as you're building this relationship. So as you are posting, I find a lot of times people are lacking the ideas. Maybe you're not as creative. I'm not super creative. So to go into getting to know people in this way, where I'm putting out different content, I needed to have a plan. I needed to know, okay, I can't just keep posting pictures of me with some words because that gets kind of boring. But I know that I can't just be posting silly reels all the time either, because while I have fun doing that, that is not what I'm here to do. I'm here to educate, right? So there are 5 different things that you can focus on as you are thinking of your content. You can do this way ahead of time. What I've been doing is, out of the 5 steps of my framework, I've been doing one thing a week, okay? And so if your thing consists of maybe some multiple facets, let's say for skincare, you've realized that you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck if you talk about the most expensive, fullest package of something, instead of focusing on a brow liner, and heaven forbid you focus on the brow liner and the cleanser and the eye makeup remover and the mascara, and you're all over the place. Where can you spend the least amount of time and sell the most? The biggest package. Okay. So let's say you're talking about using your attraction marketing. You're talking about a particular part of the package. This is kind of I drew this because this helped me get to know it better. You can come up with 5 different ways to talk about one thing, and you can focus on that for the week. If you want to, every week, pick a different part of the bigger thing and talk about it so that you never run out of ideas, okay? And it's all a different form of the same thing. So I don't know if this will be backwards. No, it doesn't look backwards. Okay. So whatever the idea is, this week for me, it is talking about consistency. So my piece of paper actually says consistency, consistently showing up. And then there's 5 different ways that you can cover that one thing. Okay. Educate. Oops. So how am I educating this week about consistency? I'm doing this for us, right? I'm also doing, and I do an IGTV every week. It's a little bit shorter than in here. If there's a particular ingredient in something that you sell, you can talk about the importance of that ingredient just in general. You don't necessarily have to be talking about your product. I did, because I'm in skincare, so for my customers, I did just an education on vitamin C in general, and they can take that information and use it for whatever brand they want to. But I'm showing them, I'm giving them the education. So what? They know, like, and trust me more. So when it comes to a vitamin C product, they can come to me. So you can do the exact same thing for your product line. So if you sell something that has ingredients in it, picking one of the ingredients and talking about the importance of that ingredient. And that leads to a conversation of them maybe asking you, well, what kind of things do you know that have that in it? And you can take that to the DMs and have just a conversation about it like a normal person. Okay, so educate. Oops, here. The next one is entertain. I am not the most entertaining of people. I know how to have fun. I know when I am having fun. But I have found the use of Reels in Instagram, or if you don't have Instagram, you can use, even if you do have Instagram, you can use something like TikTok. It's basically recording a short video, making it kind of cute or fun, and getting your information out in an entertaining way. Okay. The next one is inspire. So perhaps this is something that inspires you, and you can take a selfie, and then the inspiration can be over in the content. Or you can even edit your picture, edit your selfie that has some inspirational something or another in it. Or you can share something about your story that's inspirational. Okay. What do I do? Maybe I need to do this. Okay, then these two here are graphics. So this is not a video. This is not necessarily a picture view. What's great with these graphics is that you can edit them to have your handle, your Facebook handle, your Instagram handle, your YouTube handle, whatever. You can edit that. I use Canva to create the image, and then you can put that on there. What's great about that is that if somebody sees the quote graphic or the infographic and they're like, that is so true, I'm going to tag my mom, I'm going to forward this to my best friend, I'm going to send this to my upline, and then it can get out there. Okay, so I've learned that for these, don't put your picture on them, okay, because it makes it less forwardable or less shareable. You can do something with your brand as far as color or whatever, but to keep it more generic looking so that it's easily shared, which will what? It will lead people back to your account to see you and potentially know, like, and trust you more and build that new relationship. It's almost like a referral, but it can be a referral that goes viral. So those are your 5 things that you can do per idea. And just like what I've done, my product, my success framework is 5 steps. So I've just taken one of the steps and come up with 5 ways to talk about it. Okay, so you can see how easily ahead of time that you can talk about this idea. So you can have your content planned one time a month. When you have a couple hours, you can plan your content for the whole month. Do it a couple times a month, you'd have a whole quarter full of content. So you never have to show up like, what am I going to do? And you feel like it's taking so much time. You can plan it all. And then you can take one day, which is what I do usually on Wednesdays, and I film everything. I just change my clothes, I change my hair, change my earrings, so that I have one day that I'm just focused on that, and then just distribute the content, unless it's a live. You can't do that. Well, I should say you can't do that without some bells and whistles. There's ways that you can do things that look like you're live, but you're not. I'm live, by the way. So that you can batch it. That's what it's called. So you don't have to feel like you're doing a little bit every day. Sometimes people do well with that. Other times people just want to get it all done, boom, and then have the rest of the week to focus on other things. So there are some ways, wise to have consistency with what you're doing and what you're growing, and the hows to make it a little bit easier on your calendar. So I hope that has helped. I have 2 big announcements. Number 1, next week on Friday, we're going to have our next expert guest speaker, and Sarah is going to be, she's talking about leadership. And since we're leaders in this community, Sarah is going to be covering some really important things about leadership, maybe in a way that you've never heard before, because Sarah is also an introvert and has some really great perspectives based on her experience in the direct selling industry. And so I look forward to introducing you all to her. Let's see, so that's happening on the June 4th. Okay, so you're going to be seeing some things about that. The other thing is that on the 18th, it's a Friday, June 18th. I can't tell you what it is yet, but you're going to start to hear some whisperings of some major things going on. So I'm excited about that for you. So if you know anybody who is an introvert in the direct selling industry, it doesn't matter which company they represent, please let them know that we're here. If you're watching this live on YouTube, be sure that you go to the description of this channel, because there's a way for you to get into this group. And the people in this group actually have access to more than you watching from YouTube has. So you want to be sure that you get in this group so you know everything that's going on and that you're getting a lot of the great resources. I'm also going to be posting in the next couple of weeks a video over on YouTube and a new resource for you, a new downloadable resource, so that you can you can learn how to take better care of yourself. Now that the world is opening up, chances are our large company events are going to be continuing to open up, and I survived barely for many years large company events as an introvert, and I have some really great things to share with you on how to best take care of yourself and a great resource that goes with that. So be looking for that. I'll think of, if you're on the Quiet Confidence email, you're going to be getting that. But I had to share it. Okay, guys, here's to a great week, and we'll see you next week right here.